Stephen Colbert just obliterated Donald Trump's latest economic disaster in a takedown so brutal it's going viral. The late-night host left audiences howling as he exposed Trump's new tariff plan for what it really is: a full-blown economic meltdown that sent Wall Street into a panic and has Republicans abandoning ship. What Colbert said next will have you in tears, but Trump's reaction might leave America in ruins. What's up, everyone? If you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more political coverage the mainstream media doesn't want you to see. Donald Trump just unleashed what experts are calling the most disastrous economic policy in nearly a century, and Stephen Colbert isn't letting him get away with it. On April 2nd, a day Trump grandiosely called Liberation Day, he announced sweeping tariffs that immediately crashed the stock market and sent global leaders into emergency meetings.
My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day, waiting for a long time. April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn.
But while economists were sounding alarms about a potential recession, Colbert was busy crafting the most savage late-night takedown we've seen this year. His monologue didn't just mock Trump. It exposed the dangerous truth behind these tariffs that could hit your wallet within days. Let's break down exactly what happened. On Wednesday, Trump stood in the Rose Garden and declared economic war on basically the entire world. With a stroke of his pen, he slapped a minimum 10% tariff on every single product entering the United States.
China, first row. China, so 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%, I think.
But that was just the beginning. For countries Trump claims are taking advantage of America, he unleashed even harsher punishments. China will face a staggering 54% tariff, the European Union 20%, Japan 24%, South Korea 25%, and the list goes on. A total of 57 countries and territories getting hammered with these new taxes. For decades, our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far, both friend and foe alike, Trump declared, waving around a chart of tariff rates like a general planning an invasion. But it is not going to happen anymore. What Trump didn't mention is that tariffs are essentially a tax on American consumers. We are the ones who will pay higher prices, not China or Europe, and Wall Street figured that out immediately. Within hours of Trump's announcement, markets went into free fall. The Dow Jones plummeted 1,679 points, about 4% of its value, in a single day. The S&P 500 cratered 4.8% in its worst day since the COVID crash, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq collapsed by a shocking 6%. As one economist put it, never before has an hour of presidential rhetoric cost so many people so much. An estimated $30 trillion in market value was wiped out globally, all because of Trump's tariff tantrum. And that's when Stephen Colbert stepped in with a monologue so brutal, it left Trump supporters speechless.
America is finally free from the tyranny of being able to buy stuff from other countries. Who's ready to learn how to make their own iPad from scratch?
America is finally free from the tyranny of being able to buy stuff from other countries, Colbert declared sarcastically, to uproarious laughter from his audience. Who's ready to learn how to make their own iPad from scratch? Colbert didn't stop there. He pointed out that these are the highest tariffs since 1930, the infamous Smoot-Hawley tariffs that economists blame for deepening the Great Depression. Ah yes, the Smoot-Hawley tariffs, Colbert smirked. Just one of the reasons we remember Herbert Hoover as our greatest president. That's why they named all those vacuums after him, because he didn't suck. The audience erupted, but Colbert was just warming up. In his most devastating blow, he mocked Trump's chaotic decision-making process, noting that reportedly Trump was still weighing tariff options until late yesterday.
We're spitballing ideas through the bathroom door at 3 a.m. Tell you what if Ireland has to pay extra to be on the Lucky Charms box? What about that? I'm just spitballing here. We stopped Count Chocula at the border.
Slipping into his Trump impression, Colbert translated what that really meant. They were spitballing ideas through the bathroom door at 3 a.m. Tell you what if Ireland has to pay extra to be on the Lucky Charms box? What about that? I'm just spitballing here. We stopped Count Chocula at the border. But behind Colbert's jokes was a serious warning about economic disaster. Now, worrywart historians believe these 1930s tariffs helped cause a 2/3 collapse in global trade and a worldwide depression, he noted. Doesn't mean it's going to happen again, but just in case, we should all practice our sad Dust Bowl migrant mother pose. The crowd roared as Colbert struck an exaggerated forlorn pose, perfectly capturing the dark humor many Americans feel about this economically perilous moment. The fallout from Trump's tariff announcement and Colbert's takedown has been massive. Clips of Colbert's tyranny of being able to buy stuff joke went viral, racking up millions of views as Americans tried to process the economic chaos through humor. But while late-night comedians are having a field day, actual economic experts are terrified. Even Republicans are breaking ranks in unprecedented numbers. Former Vice President Mike Pence, Trump's own former running mate, slammed the plan as the Trump tariff tax, the largest peacetime tax hike in U.S. history. In a scathing post, Pence pointed out that these new import taxes are nearly 10 times the size of the 2018 tariffs and will cost American families over $3,500 per year. Nobel Prize-winning economist Paul Krugman didn't mince words either, calling the tariff plan full-on crazy and based on complete falsehoods. Another economist described it as Orwellian doublespeak with no actual liberation, just lower living standards for Americans. The business world is in panic mode. Retail executives are already warning of price hikes. That Tonka dump truck that cost $29.99, it'll soon be $45. Foreign leaders are holding emergency meetings, with some already preparing retaliatory tariffs on American goods. Even Trump's base seems divided. While MAGA hardliners cheer the move as economic nationalism, traditional Republican voters and business owners are horrified. The GOP's free market wing is experiencing a full-blown identity crisis as their leader embraces policies they've spent decades fighting against. Meanwhile, global markets continue to tumble. Japan's Nikkei index fell over 3.4% overnight, South Korea's Kospi dropped 1.8%, and European markets are in freefall. International diplomats are scrambling behind the scenes, desperately trying to secure exemptions or carve-outs before the higher tariffs kick in. Trump, for his part, remains defiant. When a bipartisan group of senators moved to block his tariffs on Canada, he reportedly labeled them unbelievably disloyal. His Treasury Secretary awkwardly begged other countries, do not retaliate, even as everyone knows they will. So, what does all this mean for your wallet and America's future? First, prepare for price hikes on virtually everything. Experts predict these tariffs will function as a massive hidden tax increase on everyday Americans. That imported coffee you enjoy? More expensive. Electronics? Pricier. Toys for your kids next Christmas? Expect to pay up to 50% more. UBS projects the tariff barrage could knock 2 percentage points off U.S. GDP growth and push inflation up to around 5% in the coming year. A toxic combination of slower growth and higher prices that economists call stagflation. But the scariest part? This could be just the beginning. Trump's administration is already hinting at more aggressive moves, from currency sanctions to potentially even quitting the World Trade Organization entirely. We're entering uncharted waters. As one economist put it, it's been generations since we've seen trade walls go up like this. The last time America embraced this level of protectionism, it helped trigger the Great Depression. Colbert, as always, found the perfect way to summarize this perilous moment. Happy Liberation Day, America. Hope you saved your receipts. The audience laughed, but the underlying message was clear. Trump just gambled with the entire U.S. economy, and we're all about to pay the price.
I think it's going very well. The markets are going to boom, the stock is going to boom, the country is going to boom.
Yes. Boom. The traditional sound for when everything stays intact. And he's right. Today, the market fall down, go boom. A lot of stockbrokers make boom boom in their pants.
This economic showdown is far from over. Will Trump's trade war force other countries to the negotiating table as he claims? Or will it spiral into a global recession that hurts the very workers he promised to help? The next few weeks will be critical. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, please hit that like button and subscribe. The mainstream media won't tell you about the real economic consequences of these policies, but we will.